Welcome back to Dropped In. I am beyond stoked to be here with you today and share a microdose hit of magic and medicine with you. So, today, let's talk about something that most people are feeling right now, but very few are naming. It is loud out there, isn't it? Things are moving fast. And more than likely, you've been feeling this sense of urgency, of demand. Everyone is pushing harder, producing more, trying to stay relevant, visible, and ahead of the game. And yet, the leaders who are actually rising right now aren't the ones doing the most. They're the ones who can hold the most. Today, we are talking about capacity, not productivity, not hustle, capacity. And why I firmly believe it's becoming the real advantage in business. There's a quiet shift happening. For years, success was measured by how much you could push through, how fast you could move, how many hours you could hold, how much pressure you could tolerate. But the market has changed. Teams are tired. Leaders are stretched. And decision fatigue is real. And people can feel when someone is quite literally running on fumes. And so, what used to look like ambition now reads as instability. What used to look like drive now looks like nervous system overload. And the leaders who are thriving right now are the ones who don't just survive pressure, they metabolize it. That is capacity. And so let's make this clear, real clear. Capacity isn't about doing more. Capacity is your ability to hold more without losing yourself in the process, more visibility without spiraling, more responsibility without resentment, more success without exhaustion, more decisions without the mental chaos, more growth without sacrificing your health, your relationships, yourself. Capacity is internal stability while external demands increase. And that changes everything. And if we zoom out, here's what I see right now consistently with founders, executives, and high level leaders. Most think that there is a strategy problem, but what they actually have is a capacity problem. They know what to do, they just can't consistently hold the level required to execute it. And so they oscillate. High momentum and then crash. Big visibility and then withdrawal. Massive growth. And then exhaustion. And the story they tell themselves is that they need better discipline, better time management, another strategy. But the real issue is this: their nervous system is hitting a ceiling. And when your internal capacity doesn't match your external growth, your body will slow you down every time. And so we're going to zoom out again for a second. The industries are saturated. Everyone has access to all of this information at any given time. Everyone has tools, everyone can learn strategy. And so, what actually separates leaders now is not knowledge, it's stability under pressure. The leader who can stay clear when things get noisy. The founder who can make clean decisions while everyone else reacts emotionally. The executive who can hold complexity without shutting down or over controlling. And that person becomes the anchor. And people trust anchors. Clients trust them, teams trust them, markets trust them. Capacity creates credibility. And even when no one can explain why they trust you, they just feel it. And so here's the hard truth: most people are trying to grow their business faster than they are growing their damn capacity. And that creates a serious, serious gap. And so the business expands, but the nervous system doesn't. And so what happens next is that growth starts to feel unsafe. You begin to procrastinate without understanding why. Maybe you avoid visibility even though you want success. Perhaps you overwork to compensate for that internal instability. And then you wonder why it feels harder than it quote unquote should. Because your body, my friend, is protecting you from what it doesn't yet know how to hold. And here's what I really want for you to understand is that high achievers, high capacity leaders don't necessarily work less. They work differently. They recover faster after stress. They don't always spiral when something goes wrong. They can receive and hear that feedback without collapsing internally. They make decisions from that clarity, from that grounded energy instead of urgency. And they can expand without losing themselves, without losing their center. And the interesting thing is this: they often look calmer than everyone else. Not because they care less, because they have more room internally, more spaciousness. So think about capacity like the size of a room. If your internal room is small, every demand feels crowded, doesn't it? Every email feels urgent. Every decision feels so heavy. And every single problem feels personal. But when the room expands, the same situations feel manageable, don't they? Nothing has changed externally. The room just got bigger. And that's what capacity work does. It expands the internal space you operate from. And that changes how you lead, how you sell, how you communicate, how you build. Most importantly, how you live. And right now more than ever, people are craving leaders who feel steady. Not perfect, steady. The industry, the market can sense nervous systems. Teams can sense nervous systems. Clients consents, nervous systems. And when you walk into a room with real capacity, people relax. They trust your decisions faster. They follow your vision more easily. They feel safe investing with you. And that is not marketing. That is biology. And here's what is so interesting: capacity isn't loud, it doesn't scream for attention, and it certainly doesn't need to prove itself. It just creates results that look effortless from the outside. And I think that's why it's so misunderstood. People think those leaders are just naturally calm and confident. They're not. They've trained their system to hold more. And so, what I'd love for you to do is to start asking yourself different questions. Not, how do I do more? Ask this: how much pressure can I hold before I disconnect from myself? How do I respond when visibility increases? What happens in my body when responsibility grows? And where do I tighten when things expand? Awareness is the first shift. Because once you see your capacity ceiling, you can begin expanding it. And so imagine a business world where leaders weren't rewarded for burnout. Oh my goodness, what a world that would be. Where expansion didn't require that sense of self abandonment, and where success felt sustainable. And that is the future of leadership. And the people who understand capacity early are going to set the tone for their industries. Because while others are out there chasing more strategies, they're building stronger internal foundations. And foundations win long term. Full stop. Always. And this is exactly why I've been so focused on capacity work. Because once you understand how to increase your capacity, everything else becomes easier. Strategy lands. Your ability to delegate becomes natural. Visibility feels safer. Leadership becomes cleaner. And growth stops feeling like something you have to survive. It becomes something you can actually, honestly enjoy. And that is a whole different kind of success. And so, if this conversation landed for you, pay attention to where you've been trying to push harder when what you actually need is more room internally. Capacity is certainly not a luxury. It is, in my opinion, the ultimate advantage. And the leaders who build it now will be the ones everyone else is trying so desperately to catch up to later. I'm so grateful you're here. And until next time, I will see you on Dropped in.